Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. And yes, it is time for the weekly news update, where we're going to be covering all of the significant developments that are happening on both the Songbird and the Flare network. We're going to jump straight in here in usual fashion over on xHaven to get a quick update on the top performing NFT collections. Topping the charts this week, we have FLR Domains. In second place, we have Block and Bonez. In third place, we have Smuggler Chimps, which is powered by DYNMX. In fourth place, we have the Fat Cats. And finally, in fifth place, we have the Grungies. Now, jumping into the biggest news of the week, you guys know what's coming. Yes, FXRP is now available on the Songbird network. Of course, it was before, but this is now using FAssets 1.1. This is a new innovation which implements the core vault, and it's basically going to be much more capital efficient and a better user experience for you guys that are minting. So this needs to be tested on the Songbird network, and eventually it will be deployed onto the Flare network. We've got this here from Flare saying, "No more waiting, we're on. This is how XRP enters decentralized finance. Securely, scalably, and with full custody retained. From here, it only scales." This is what the dashboard actually looks like for those who may not have seen it. You get a lot of information from here talking about the statistics of the F assets and the various collateral pools, and also your particular position and everything else associated with going through the process of minting F assets. Now, if we move on here to this, I did want to clarify something because I did put this post out earlier. In fact, give me a second, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's read this about the core vault. At the heart of FAssets version 1.1 is the core vault. It's an innovation designed to enhance system liquidity and scalability. The core vault acts as a liquidity hub, allowing agents to deposit XRP into the vault and unlock their FLR collateral on the Songbird and Flare network. This collateral can then be used to mint more FXRP or be allocated elsewhere, enabling agents to refresh their minting capacity without needing new capital each time. This is what the innovation is all about with version 1.1. And yes, like I said, it's going to allow a much higher cap. I believe there is a cap imposed at the minute, but this can potentially scale to an unlimited supply of F assets. Specifically XRP. This is what I wanted to clear up here. I put this post out, I believe, yesterday, and it was based on a recent blog post from the Flare network team. It's time to earn SGB with SGB and XRP. And I just want to read through this and say that this is now outdated information or slightly changed. Unlike past deployments, given the improved capital efficiency and the plan for long-term deployment of FXRP on Songbird, no incentives are planned for redemption specifically. However, the system will be supported by bi-weekly incentives for SGB collateral providers and FXRP liquidity providers, which will be distributed as RFLR via the Flare portal. Now, one of these has actually been removed from the blog post. You are still going to get RFLR rewards based on SGB collateral, and you can provide that yourself by providing it into a pool. But if we go back to this blog post, which is, as you can see, where this screenshot was taken from, this has since been updated. So, however, the system will be supported by bi-weekly incentives for SGB collateral providers. So there is no mention of FXRP being able to earn RFLR rewards on the Songbird network. Now, that might actually change with, on the Flare network once it's deployed there. But currently, the only rewards that you can get in terms of RFLR are from providing SGB as collateral. Now, please don't get this mistaken. You can actually also earn some additional rewards by holding FXRP. I hear a lot of people on X and also in the comments asking, well, what is the point of bringing FXRP to the Songbird network? And I am going to talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But before I do, we're going to jump straight into this bit. I thought this was pretty funny. I've been here since the very beginning of the Flare network and even the beginning of Songbird network. A little bit of an interesting fact here. FLR, the Flare token, was actually called Spark token back in the day. And I thought it was interesting just to see how many people have actually been in the community this long. If you are a member of the community for such a long time, please do let me know in the comments. We've got this from ImmuneFi here, talking about the audit competition for F assets, up to $125,000 in fiat rewards for the audit, and the mitigation audit here, $25,000. So a total of $150,000 for those who may want to interrogate the smart contracts and try and pick them apart to find any weaknesses. Of course, this is to essentially make the smart contract and the system as robust as possible. Now, there is an end date to this, June the 9th. So if you do want to check it out, head over to ImmuneFi and find this post and follow this link. We got this from Hugo here saying that he is on track to meet his goals even without F assets. And now imagine what happens when you can stake XRP in Firelight Fi. This is going to be the XRP staking solution that is coming to the Flare network, although we haven't had any indication that they are going to deploy on the Songbird network. I guess time will tell. But this goal that Hugo was talking about was referring to TVL, DeFi Total Value Locked. And he wanted to make some pretty ambitious posts. We might see somewhere here. Wondering if anyone decided to link it, but I guess not. He did have an ambitious target. I think he wanted to 10x it by the end of the year, and he's well on the way to achieving that. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons is because of the recent introduction, and also one of the buses, let's say, is the stablecoin USDT0, which has absolutely taken the Flare network by storm. There's a lot of opportunities to earn RFLR and very high APYs as a result of this new integration. And now, as you can see with this video here, you can onboard and offboard directly to and from the Flare network via Kraken using USDT0. So this is a huge development and has done wonders for the liquidity and the total value locked on the Flare network. We've got this here in terms of DeFi. This is from Sparkex talking about USDT0, which you can now use as collateral for eternal perpetual contracts. So this is a very good innovation as well for those that may want to trade against the market. This is a way that you can actually short various cryptocurrencies. You can see here on this example, it's talking about Ethereum. Maybe something to consider when you think that the market might be reaching the top. Yeah, we'll talk about that more at a later date. We've got this from Luminate, which is a wallet that has just been developed by Sparkex AI. They said that they're proud to officially partner with Sparkex, the team that built Luminate from the ground up. I'm not really sure how that works, the partnership, if it's the same entity that has built it. But anyway, this isn't just a collaboration, it's a shared mission to bring DeFi, or to make DeFi simple, powerful, and accessible to all. Built by Sparkex and powered by the Flare network. Now, for me, I welcome all new wallets. We obviously have Bifrost, which is probably the most popular, and I think it's going to be great to see some competition between these wallets to push the boundaries of innovation. So I was talking about FXRP and how you can use it. Well, you can actually use it in Anosis, which is supporting various liquidity pools, and they're incentivizing these with xHaven, which is one of their 2 governance tokens on the Songbird network. Basically, you provide liquidity in any of these pools, and based on your pool share and the amount of liquidity that you provide in the V3 exchange and how much of that liquidity is used, you will get a share of this reward, which is 0.2 xHaven every single day. We've also got this from Anosis, which was posted last week. It's weird how true that it is that when you wait for a bus for a long time and then 6 turn up in short succession. We heard this from Hugo first, and it seems like Anosis also have the ducks in a row, or their buses in a row, ready to deploy a lot of applications. That's what they're saying on the Discord, and yeah, I think we're just going to have to wait and see. For me personally, the most anticipated product that they are planning to launch, which I believe is either already ready and ready to go, or very close to completion, and that is the APY Cloud. It's going to be launching on Songbird first. And in fact, a big shout out to Anosis, because they are one of the few entities that go through the intended deployment workflow, going from Coston to Songbird, to Coston 2, and then to the Flare network. So great news from them, and something that I will keep you updated with. Moving on to NFTs, yes, we have another special trait, semi-special trait auction. These are all sold exclusively in the Bonez asset, with 90% being burnt. I always provide the transaction details here so you guys can verify, but essentially the Bonez supply is going down and down. We also have the earn boost here, which is almost another 500,000 BNZ getting burnt. This is a way that you can buy the Bonez asset OTC, let's say, with 0% slippage, and every 1 Bonez that is bought, 1 Bonez is getting burnt. This started at 2 million, so we've got just over 455,000 that has been bought, which means 455,000 is going to get burnt, at least that much. So keep your eyes on this asset. There's plenty of ways that this is deflating each and every month. Digital dynamics, this is what I've been focusing on in the last week or 2. I do have something loading for you guys. For anyone that's holding a digital dynamics powered NFT, I do have some good news for you next week, so stay tuned for that. Here's a little thing that I did want to mention, because I hear it many times, both on here on YouTube, but also on X. And I'm just going to read this verbatim because I think it's important to know and try to clarify any of the confusion that people may have. F Assets has just launched, we know that, and a lot of people have been saying, will F Assets work on my Bifrost wallet? Will it work on my Ledger device? Will it work on MetaMask or Decent? So, as I said, I want to address this because I see the question appear so often, especially since we've seen the launch of F Assets on Songbird. Wallets, which are applications that allow you to access an account and interact with decentralized applications, do not integrate specific dApps. So you don't have, let's stick with Bifrost, integrating xHaven, or you don't have it integrating Anosis or BlazeSwap. What this app does, Bifrost, it integrates a network, a blockchain. For example, the Songbird network. A wallet that can connect to the Songbird network can connect to the vast majority of decentralized applications on the network. And an example of a decentralized application is F Assets. So if you would like to know if your Bifrost, your MetaMask, your Decent, your Ledger, whatever it may be, account can utilize F Assets, the answer you're really seeking is actually if your wallet can connect to the Songbird network. And if it can, then it will very much be able to participate in F Assets. Just need to make sure that you're connecting to the right network. Of course, Songbird is the network that is hosting F Assets version 1.1, so you need to connect to the Songbird network. Moving on here, I did release a Patreon exclusive. If you are interested, there is a link in the description below talking about the 3 pillars of Flare Network 2.0. The first is improved interoperability, the second is faster, high integrity data, and third is highly abundant compute. All result in a foundation for developers to build next generation applications on blockchain technology. This is one of the things that excites me most about the Flare network, is that it's not just keeping up with the times, it's actually innovating and is almost future-proof in itself by developing these novel utility applications and data protocols that are basically going to facilitate the next generation of applications. Exciting times indeed, and I'm glad you guys are here for the ride. Lastly, I think the Flare network and the Flare community is expanding, especially with all of the headlines recently, the huge increase in total value locked on the network, the launch of F Assets version 1.1. We are gaining a lot of traction, and I want you guys to welcome all of the newcomers. There is no need for tribalism, no need for maximalists. This is just a community of people with a passion for the technology that we call blockchain. We are at the cutting edge here, and like I said, I'm very grateful to have you all along for the ride. That pretty much sums up the video. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Please feel free to like the video. It does help out the channel a ton, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And with that being said, have a great weekend. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.